and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. This is the Mavs video we talked about in our draft lottery video yesterday. And Austin, the title is called Are the Mavs Saved? I would say as a team, yes. Mostly. Because you have that it is potential, which we kind of talked about with yeah.
I just want to say this. Cooper Flag is a Luka level prospect. So you really are just restarting the Luka like that. You're just restarting his career, right? And in a better situation. So yes. I think they're personally saved because while we may have discussions about whether Luka will be a better player than Flag when they both retire, they're comparable level prospects. So I think that they, in that sense, they are saved because they have a generational player. And I say generational, knowing what it means. I've never seen a player like Flag the way he plays. I mean, he's a dominant player, and I'm really excited to see how he plays in the league.
Yeah, part of me is really excited to what do the Mavs look like, because you do have AD, but also AD's only 2 more years. You have Cooper Flag, and I would love to see Derek Lively together. I'm kind of on that interest level right now with 2 incredibly tall players. Like, I would have loved Victor Wembanyama with Cooper Flag, as I mentioned in the lottery video, because you have Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, you have Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren. It does seem like the NBA is trying to go to that. It seems like teams are trying to go to that level of let's get 2 really incredibly tall players and put them at a 4 and 5. And Flag can shoot the 3, I would say.
Yes.
Right? So he's
like Luka 3 is how I explain it. Like Luka's not the best shooter in the world.
Yeah.
I compare Luka and Cooper the same way. Like, they both are not the greatest shooters ever, but they can hit the shot. I mean, and both in big moments as well.
Well, and the thing is, I'm kind of thinking about it from the 5 perspective of you have to guard him at 3, where Derek Lively doesn't really have that skill. It is believed he could get that skill. So that is the thing I was looking at. So where you would basically play Cooper Flag at the 4 and then Lively at the 5, because Lively can't really shoot the 3 compared to Flag. So that's where I'm interested. I would say they are saved. They aren't saved because they still need guards, but that is easier because now you have that guy that fixes your team, and it does put them in a win now mode. I'm very interested to see what happens with this roster because Kyrie's going to be delayed, and I'm very interested to see what happens. But I just hate it because this makes Nico's job easier. I don't know how he got that lucky. Because you traded, I would say, a generational star in Luka, or incredible top 5 NBA player in Luka, the guy that can really hide a lot of your flaws, which the Mavs did. And he gets that with Cooper Flag because the Mavs have flaws.
Yeah. I mean, they just, again, I other than Wemby, in the last 10 years, I think Flag has the highest potential besides Wemby. I think he's that level of a prospect. Now, whether or not he lives up to that, we'll see. But I think he's the second best prospect in the last 10 years. So
I think coming at like before the draft.
That's what I mean by prospect, because prospect is pre-NBA. He has the potential to be a top 10 player all time. And with the fact is, we know that Luka has that potential. So they are just resetting that potential top 10 player all time. And we'll see, obviously, what the Mavs do with it. But I do think we may have to do another video about whether or not the NBA draft is rigged. I think we know our opinions on it. But I'm also not happy about this pick, not just because the Wizards fell as far as they possibly could, but I feel like the Mavs were rewarded for making a bad decision. And not just Nico, but just the organization as a whole is going to, because let's put it this way. I don't think Nico's going to be the GM by the time that Cooper Flag retires. So the Mavs organization is succeeding even though they shouldn't be. And I don't like to see teams succeed when they should be punished.
Yeah, I agree, because this is one of the worst. I've said this before, or maybe I've put it on recording. A trade like the Luka trade will never happen again. And I mean, it's not a team trading away a superstar. It's a team trading away a superstar and not getting that many picks back. And just, you will see, because they did everything wrong. And yet you end up with a guy who's going to bring those fans back. I know I'm in the minority of, I am not rooting for the Mavs as long as Nico Harrison's there, as long as Patrick Dumont is there. But I do want to watch their games because I want to see that idea of the NBA of Derek Lively, AD, and Cooper Flag together. And this probably means Daniel Gafford's gone from the Mavs perspective, who he probably goes to the Lakers. But yeah, I really hate it, because if this was another GM and they end up with this pick, I'm probably more inclined to go back. But really just hate it from, you're rewarding a guy who is, I would say, one of the worst GMs, or made one of the worst trades in just sports history, and he gets incredibly lucky.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's two parts of this. One is seeing him on the roster and being like, wow, the team is going to be good next year, and I think they're a playoff team, because I think Flag will come into the league extremely ready. And the other part is that the Mavs benefited from something they probably shouldn't. So we'll see. I think that the NBA, well, we may have to do another video about the NBA draft rigged comments, but I definitely think it looks that way. Because the league benefits from the fact that the Mavs are not going to lose as many fans. They're still going to lose some, because of the distrust is not going to be something that many fans want to return to. But they're going to gain a lot of fans back because of the Cooper Flag deal. And I think that is something that a lot of people are not going to even scoff at. But I definitely think that the draft benefited when it should not have.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think we will do another video of, is the NBA lottery rigged? We could do, is the NBA rigged? So be on the lookout for that, as we have a lot going on right now. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.